Did you know that there is an angel who stopped being talked about, and for a long time it was almost forbidden to even name him? What is the mysterious angel who, due to his great power, was confused by God? In this video, I am going to reveal to you who that angel was, what his function is, and everything you need to know about him. Shalom everyone, welcome to one more video on our channel. Welcome. Today we are going to talk about the most powerful and most mysterious angel in history. He is none other than Metatron. And in parentheses, I'm going to say that although I just pronounced this name in a complete way for educational purposes to teach you what his name was, after this video, I am no longer going to pronounce the full name because according to the Kabbalistic tradition, one should not name the name of the angels without a specific need. I want to pause for a few seconds to invite you to the Co-Creators Academy on WhatsApp, where we are going to have completely unpublished materials. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, click on the link in the video description. Let's start with the meaning of his name. There is discussion about what his name means, but what is clear to everyone is that this is not a name in Hebrew. The Ramban Nachmanides, born in 1104 after the Common Era and died in 1270 in Spain, said that matat means sent, which in Greek is matatar. The Ralbag, Rabbi Levi ben Gershon, in 1344, who died in 1344 in France, said that the word matat comes from matron, that is mother in Roman, in the sense of guardian. So one said the envoy, the other said the guardian. And there is a third opinion, that of the great Kabbalists, such as Rabbi Menahem, who lived in approximately 1600, said that matat means servant. Thus, envoy, guardian, and servant are some of the meanings of this mysterious name. The wise men of Israel, already in the Talmud, called matat sar hapanim, that is, the minister of the face. The meaning of this adjective is that it is one that reveals the divine face. Face means revelation. The word panim, which means face, is the same word as the word pnim. Yes, it has the same root and they are spelled the same. The panim is the internal part. Something that is inside is pnim. So pnim is the internal dimension. Why? Because the face reveals what is inside a person. The expressions, all of that, is revealed in the face. So what matat actually comes to do is reveal God in this world. Let's say that it carries divine revelation in it. We see this in the simplest sense of the biblical text. In the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verses 20 and 21, the following is written: Behold, I send an angel before you to guard you on the way. Yes, we said it meant guardian, do you remember? And bring you to the place I have prepared. Servant, sent. Be careful with him, says the text, and listen to his voice. Do not rebel against him, for he will not forgive your transgressions, because my name is inside. The Midrash Otiyot of Rabbi Akiva, a very ancient midrash, a very old book of literature, of exegesis, of the rabbinic literature of our sages, says something very interesting, that one of the names of matat is the 4 letters of the divine name, the letter Yod, the letter He, and the letter Vav, and the letter He. And he called him Yud-Ke Vav-Ke Katan, that is, the small tetragrammaton. Yes, as it is written, because my name is inside. That's what it literally says. In some way, it is as if there were the divine name in all its expression and the divine name in synthesis, in small, It is the one that is revealed through that angel, because my name is inside. And the commentator Rashi tells us the same thing, who, although he usually explains the simplest side, tells us what it means that his name is on it. He said, the word matat has the same numerical value as Shaddai. Yes, Shin Dalet Yud, which is one of the names of God that means the Almighty. That is why he is called Sar Hapanim, the minister of the face, because in Shemot 33:14, when God tells Moses that he himself and not another angel will go with them, he tells them like this, and my face will go, and I will guide you, meaning, my face from there I will go. And commentators such as Rabino Behaye say, what is my face? My face is Matat, Sar Hapanim, the minister of the face. So this is an angel that is not a common angel. It is an angel different from the others. This becomes even clearer when we read in the book of Exodus, also in chapter 33 from 2 to 4. The following says, and I will send an angel before you, and I will banish the Canaanite, and the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. He will bring you to a land flowing with milk and honey, for I will not come up among you, for you are a stiff-necked people, lest I consume you on the way. And the text says that when the people heard this bad news, they mourned, and no one put their ornament on themselves. In other words, when talking about Matat, it was fine that this angel was coming. Why? Because my name is on it. But when he told him that he is a normal angel, that he would not go, he would send them an angel. The people were saddened and mourned. We have to ask ourselves what difference there is. They are both angels. No, no, no. Matat is not a normal angel like the others. Now we have to make an important parenthesis, because we can fall into the serious error of thinking that there are two gods or something similar, or two levels of God. And if you made this mistake, you won't be the first. Come with me to the 1st century of the Common Era. Rabbi Akiva and 3 other wise men were those who made mystical elevations to a place called Pardes. And he warned his companions, when we rise to that high place, do not say Mayim, Mayim. That is, waters, waters. Don't say waters twice. That is to say, although you may perceive some type of duality there, of seeing two things, do not fall into that error, because God is one, not two, never. However, one of them, Elisha ben Abuya, explains in the Talmud, in the tractate of Hagigah, page 14, that upon seeing the angel Matat sitting, while the rest of the angels were standing, since one cannot sit in the presence of God. When God is there, you have to get up. But he was the only one he saw sitting. Then he said, there are two authorities here, that is, two gods, two forces that dominate the world. And from that day, he became Elisha Aher, Elisha the other. Our wise men say that it literally means that he cut down what was planted, but that it is an expression to talk about someone who left the faith. So we have to be very clear about a difference between the divine essence, who is one and only, and the divine revelation that can be given in several revelations, such as there is one God, but he has different names, different revelations. This angel is the one who reveals the divine presence, the divine revelation here below. As the Maharal of Prague says, who says that the matter of Matat, if it brings into practice all the matters of this world, that is, the things that God does here in this underworld are through him. When it says that God himself made something and not an angel, we are talking about him. Somehow it bears the divine name. The word name in Hebrew is Shem, which comes from the word Sham, which also means objective. There I want to reach somewhere in some way the objectives of God. What God does in his world, he does through the one who bears his name, his objective within it. So that is something that we have to be very careful not to fall into the error of Elisha, who said there are two authorities, not two. God is one, not two, or three, or four. It is not something that is counted. God is one and only. He has revelations, and these revelations sometimes have a carrier. One of these carriers is called matat. Since we have quoted Rabbeinu Behaye, he explains in Exodus 23:20 that what was said, that he will not forgive your transgressions, means that this angel even has the power to forgive sins. So he says, his authority reaches this point. But even so, God forbid, he is not at all comparable to the Creator himself, only a divine revelation here in the underworld. Yes, notice carefully that even so, with all his greatness in the Zohar, the angel Matat is called Nar, young man, and Eved, servant. Why? Because according to the Cabalá, he is in charge of the world of Yetzirah. In other places, the Zohar says that he is in charge of the world of Beria. In Cabalá, there are four worlds: Atzilut, the world of the Sephirot, and the names of God, the world of divine revelation itself, and then there are Beria and Yetzirah and Asiyah, which are the world of creation, of formation and action. Well, the Zohar says that on the days of the week, Matat is in charge of the revelation of God from the world of Yetzirah. And on Shabbat, which is the Shabbat day, the seventh day, the sacred day, the day on which God rested, the revelation that he carries from Beria. So why is he called a servant? And why is he called a young man in comparison to the world of Atzilut, which is divine revelation itself? So that is something that we have to be very clear about. Now, we have said and explained that this was his most famous name. Yes, Matat, but the Midrash Otiot of Rabbi Akiva tells us that he has 70 different names and that he is also called by more adjectives. Does the number 70 ring a bell? The number 70 is the number of nations in the world, according to the book of Bereshit, the book of Genesis, chapter 10. The nations starting from the sons of Noah are divided into 70. It means that Matat carries the divine revelation through all that revelation here in the lower world also to all the 70 nations. Now let's delve into another important secret, and that is that in many ancient traditions, Enoch in English was the one who ended up becoming Matat. Let's understand this more deeply. How do we explain this mystery that a man became an angel? If you want to learn more, to go deeper about the image of Enoch, and what is written about him in the biblical text, I leave you a video so you can go a little deeper into it. Now, how do we explain that a man became an angel? Rabbi Abraham Abulafia, who was one of the greatest Kabbalists who lived in Zaragoza in the 12th century approximately, explained it this way. Hanoch, the son of Yered, used the force of Matat to understand the secrets. He connected with him to understand the secrets and what is written in the Zohar, that his body became like a torch of fire, teaches us that he stripped himself of his clothes, animal and natural, and clothed himself with a spiritual essence until he is as if he were Matat himself. He invested him with his strength, as if he were himself. And that's because of how much he achieved through it. That is why it is said in the books that Hanoch is Matat. But it doesn't literally mean that it is. According to Rabbi Abraham Abulafia, when we say this, it is not something literal, but a spiritual and metaphorical concept. The sages explain that Hanoch was the 7th generation of Adam, and that Enoch buried Adam. The Zohar says that this is a symbolism that he received a level of the soul called Ila Zehira, that is, the level that Adam had before sinning. This meant that just as Adam before sinning would not die, Enoch did not die either. He reached the level that is above death. The Zohar says that all the secrets, the highest treasures, and the 45 keys to reveal the secrets of heaven were transmitted to Enoch. 45 is a key number, since 45 has the same numerical value as the word Adam, which is the name of the first human and also means human being. This shows us what we have said. Through the 45 secrets, he was able to reach the level of Adam's soul before he sinned. The wise men also explained to us in another way the concept that Enoch was matat. They say that we see in the biblical text what has not been explained to us, that in truth there is a neshama above and there is the being below. For example, it is written of Abraham, 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 or Yitzhak, Yitzhak, or when God calls Samuel, the prophet, Samuel, Samuel. All this repetition, the wise men tell us, is about talking about the superior being and the inferior being. Well, some of the wise men explain that matat is the neshama, Eliona, the elevated part of Enoch. From now on, from before, the lower part was Hanok. They explain this to answer a difficulty. Yes, because it is difficult to understand. Matat is an angel who is before the creation of the physical world here, and Enoch was only born 7 generations later. How can we say that Enoch became Matat if Matat was already there? The only thing we are saying is that Enoch down here reached his higher soul, which was Matat, who already existed before. It is not that Matat was formed from Enoch. Still, we must understand something important. Although we are talking about someone who reached the level of an angel, Rabbi Abraham Azulai, one of the greatest Kabbalists, tells us, approximately 3 or 4 centuries ago, that although he became an angel, he had a lower level than the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the level of Moshe, Moses. Why? Because they were the Merkava, that is higher than the angels, while the soul of man, especially of the patriarchs, at its highest level, can reveal the world of Atzilut. They, the angels, as we have said, Matat, which is one of the greatest, are in Beria, in the best of cases, or in Yetzirah. Up to this point we have revealed many of the mysteries of this angel, but here I have to give a warning. And the wise men of the Cabalá tell us that there is a great danger in dealing with angels. Matat is not just an angel, it is a concept. We have said it has 70 names, 70 different revelations. He is also responsible in the world of Yetzirah for the rest of the angels. And many think that dealing with angels is something simple. The wise men of the Cabalá tell us that we must be very careful with all types of spells on angels. Why? Because the angels are in the worlds of Yetzirah, and some of them in the world of Asiyah, which are the lowest worlds. The 4 worlds are divided by the amount of light and the amount of klipa'ah, husks of darkness, that are in them. In the world of Atzilut, there is only light. In the world of Beria, there is majority light and very little klipa'ah, very little darkness. In the world of Yetzirah, there is half-half. And in the world of Asiyah, the majority is evil. When people begin to engage with angels, how do they know if they are connecting with the part of light or the part of darkness that may be or surround them? That klipa may have a lot to do with what I have inside, that is, with my intentions. If I want for myself, if I want selfishness, if I want and have pride even for people to see, to tell people the future, to connect or to make money, or for any other topic that is personal, what can happen, God forbid, is that my shells cause me to connect with the dark parts of the worlds of Yetzirah and Asiyah, in the best of cases, and that can do great harm to me on the spiritual level. That is why the wise men of Kabbalah say that our connection has to be direct with God in Atzilut, in His revelations in Atzilut, with the Ein Sof, directly with the infinite, directly because there is no evil there. There we only connect with true light. So, to finish, we have talked about the different mysteries around this mysterious angel. But why did they stop talking about him? Why? Obviously, this angel was adapted by different cultures as well, and was used to justify some doctrines in other philosophies that had nothing to do with the line, let's say, of Judaism. That caused a lot of controversy about it. So, as some took those concepts and confused them or used them to justify other things, then it was somehow automatically a concept that began to be left aside. But this does not mean that there is not a lot of light, that there is not a lot of light around all the concepts that exist around this angel. And if it were not so, the ancient wise men would not have revealed and told us so much about him. So, all the controversy is very interesting, all the conversation that exists around it, all the theological concepts, all the concepts of life that there may be about meditation, because the Arizal brings us some meditations through the name, but we have to do it in very specific and exact ways, as we have said, to avoid making mistakes. And with all this, I'm going to wait for your comments in the comments area. Tell me what surprised you the most, what you think about what we've said, and let's get into an open conversation here in the community, in our comments. If you are not subscribed to our channel, subscribe, because there will be many more videos on interesting topics, and they will also help us on a daily basis, not only informative, but also about personal growth. And if you are not signed up for our Co-Creator Academy on WhatsApp, you can do so in the first comment. Without further ado, see you in the next video. Remember, like, comment, and if you are not subscribed, subscribe. Greetings to all.
A gentle breeze whispers its delight. Leaves rustle softly, stars gleam bright. In your arms everything feels right. Moonlight paints our shadows tall. In the breeze I hear your call. Autumn breeze in the night so tenderly. In your embrace I feel so free. Every sigh, every touch we share. In the autumn breeze I know you care. Stars above, a blanket of delight. In your eyes the autumn night. Walking through the amber glow. With you beside me love starts to grow.
Shalom.